Hello, everyone. Welcome to Snap Take. It is time for the number 6 card in all of Marvel Snap, and it is the second to last Pull 2 card that's going to make this list. It's Devil Dino. Excuse me, Devil Dino is actually even earlier than Pull 2. But whatever, Devil Dino is absolutely stellar, takes off in Pull 2. Devil Dino is a phenomenal card. It's a 5/3 that gets +2 power for each card in your hand, which often means Devil Dino is a 5/11 or larger. It is not hard to keep Devil Dino in the top of the meta. Devil Dino is very, very often the single most powerful in terms of raw numbers, 5 cost you can play. He also counters the suddenly very prevalent Valkyrie extremely well. He goes in a massive number of decks. If your deck is drawing at all, it's harder to find a reason to not play Devil Dino than it is to find a reason to play him. If you are early pull 3 and want Devil Dino, if the pull 2 deck is the best pull 2 deck. If you are early pull 3 and want Devil Dino, all you really need is Daredevil and Devil Dino. You could also easily run a She-Hulk version of this without too much trouble. Basically, you take the pull 2 deck, excuse me, this is also running Mystique because Mystique copying Dino is phenomenal. But you can easily just cut these two and run a couple extra big cards from earlier in the game and be just fine. In addition, that White Queen is going to get you an extra way to play Devil Dino. That Moon Girl is going to fill your hand and potentially give you 2 Devil Dinos. These decks often want Quinjet if they're running this combination of cards, because making everything one cheaper that you're getting and generating is awesome. This whole deck is built around Devil Dino. If you have Devil Dino, basically you can rely on him to win a lane. If your hand is big enough, he can end up to like a 5/17, which is just completely insane, nearly impossible to beat. That's bigger than Destroyer. That's bigger than all sorts of nonsense giant cards. If your other win conditions are Daredevil to Professor X on 5, then Devil Dino to win a lane on 6. You can Dino on 5, copy it with Mystique on 6, or you can even Moon Girl Dino on 5, and then double Mystique copying 2 Dinos on 6. Absolutely bonkers plays. Devil Dino is stellar. Later on into Pool 3, this is sort of what the deck looks like in my opinion. All you really need to generate more cards is Agent Coulson. Agent Coulson is stellar. Coulson and White Queen are generally enough to get that Dino package going. The value of this deck is that it uses Dino but doesn't have to rely on Dino. Dino is great in this deck. It is fundamentally built around the value of Dino. He's almost always going to be bigger than She-Hulk and at least similar in size to Magneto. So you're just dropping humongous things all over the board while controlling, dropping other huge threats, having surprises, so on. This is one of the better decks. The last 2 decks I'm going to talk a little bit less about because I've spoken about them both at length recently. The first is my Infinite deck. You can literally check yesterday's video for me talking about this deck from the perspective of Thanos, but I want to talk about it quickly from the perspective of Devil Dino. Devil Dinosaur in this deck means that all of your draw, all of your cantripping stones keep that dino big. He's very rarely bigger than an 11 in this deck, but if you get an early 5/11, thanks to the energy stone, or an on curve 5/11, it's very often going to win the game. This also works amazingly well early if you can then Professor X or Spider-Man that lane. It even works in a pinch if you've got another lane locked down. You get it out early. You've got Daredevil to tell where to play. So then you Professor X a different lane, and then you can just Valkyrie on top of Dino, and it basically takes out everything in the game. These combos are bonkers. Devil Dino is stellar in this deck. He's the only really big thing. The hidden actual bonus of Dino is that Dino is a 3, so Bass does not harm Dino in every way. He's the perfect big for this deck. Lastly, we have the Binks deck. This Binks deck doesn't exist without Dino. Your Coulson and White Queen are fun, and Maria Hill and Sentinel are fundamentally a package of cards that are meant to keep Devil Dino big. You add in a package of cards of Rockslide and Korg to keep Darkhawk big. Darkhawk with even 1 power is probably going to make this list, and Darkhawk, spoiler, is not going to make this top 10, but he is easily in the top 15 and like really, really hard to leave off. Unfortunately, when you only have 10, it's tough. I think Dino is a little better, but it's close. So Dino has Coulson to pay off, and Dino has White Queen to pay off. I think the big difference between these two cards is Dino really wants pool 3 cards to pay off, and Devil Dino only needs pool 2. He benefits from pool 3, but with just a pure ton of pool 2, Devil Dino is competitive. You can see here, you can Dino and then go wide with Doom. You can Dino and then combo off Mystique. If you've got Zabu out, you can Dino and then play both Darkhawk and Mystique on the last turn in whatever order, depending on which is bigger. There are a multitude of combos. Again, this is one of the best decks in the game. I'm 100% going to at some point soon take a look at this deck um, as a Thanos deck, just because I think Thanos makes everything better, and there's enough stuff to take out to just like slap Thanos in, remove Maria Hill, have a great day, right? Like a bunch of stones should do wonders here. I think all of these combos are absolutely stellar. Um, I think Devil Dino is one of the best cards in the game, and it is the best card early, and it is a card that remains in one of, again, the top 3 to 4 decks in the game all the way through the game's lifespan. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned tomorrow as we crack the top 5 cards in the game.